when a liberal TV host tried to trap Melania Trump with provocative questions about her marriage and feelings for Donald Trump. He never expected her to turn the tables with a shocking response. But before we dive in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Now, picture this: a brightly lit television studio in the heart of Manhattan. The cameras are rolling, the audience is settled in their seats, and there sits Melania Trump, poised and elegant in a pristine white dress that seems to reflect her grace. The host, known for his provocative interview style with conservative guests, welcomes her with a smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. At first, everything seems normal, just another high-profile interview on another busy day in the media circuit. But there's something in the air, a tension that's about to explode into one of the most memorable moments in recent television history. The audience watches intently as Melania gracefully crosses her legs at the ankles, her posture reflecting years of experience in the spotlight. But there's something different about her today, a quiet strength that seems more pronounced than usual. Perhaps she can sense what's coming. The studio lights cast a warm glow across the set, but the atmosphere is anything but cozy. The host, leaning forward in his chair, carries himself with the smug confidence of someone who thinks he's about to deliver a groundbreaking expose. Little does he know, he's walking straight into a trap of his own making. You can feel it in the air, that electric tension before a storm breaks. The audience, mostly composed of the host's regular viewers, shifts uncomfortably in their seats. They've seen his infamous gotcha moments before, but something tells them this time might be different. As the cameras roll, the host begins with what seems like casual small talk. "Mrs. Trump, thank you for being here today," he says, his voice carrying that practiced smoothness of a seasoned interviewer. But there's an undertone there, a subtle hint of condescension that doesn't go unnoticed by Melania. Her slight smile never wavers, but those who know her well would recognize the steel entering her eyes. She is about to reveal a side that few have ever seen. The first few minutes follow the expected pattern of any high-profile interview. The host inquires about Melania's Be Best initiative, her work with children, and her ongoing charitable efforts. She speaks passionately about cyberbullying prevention and the importance of supporting America's youth. "I believe every child deserves a chance to thrive," Melania explains, her accent adding warmth to her words. "When we invest in our children, we invest in America's future." The audience nods approvingly, some even applauding spontaneously at her genuine commitment. But then comes a subtle shift in the host's demeanor. His questions, while still professionally framed, begin carrying hints of skepticism. "That's fascinating," he interjects, his tone suggesting otherwise. "Some critics have questioned the sincerity of your philanthropic work, suggesting it's more about image than impact." Melania's response is characteristically measured, but there's an edge to her voice now. "Those who question sincerity often reveal more about themselves than others," she replies, maintaining direct eye contact. "The children and families we've helped, their stories speak louder than any critic." The host's expression tightens almost imperceptibly. He shuffles his note cards, clearly thrown off by her composed retort. The audience picks up on this subtle power shift. The murmur of conversation grows slightly louder, and several people exchange knowing glances. This isn't going according to his script, and everyone can sense it. As he moves to his next line of questioning, his voice takes on a more challenging tone. The topic turns to her role as First Lady, and the real interrogation begins. The host leans forward, adopting what he probably believes is a look of sincere curiosity. "You've had quite a journey from Slovenia to the White House. That must have been challenging?" His emphasis on the last word hangs in the air, loaded with insinuation. "Every journey has its challenges," Melania responds, her voice steady. "But America is a land of opportunities. I've been blessed to live the American dream." She pauses, then adds with quiet conviction, "And I have worked hard for everything I've achieved." "Indeed," the host continues, his tone growing bolder. "But surely being married to Donald Trump opened doors that wouldn't have been available otherwise." The audience stirs at this more direct approach. Melania's expression doesn't change, but something flashes in her eyes. Not anger, but determination. My husband and I build our life together, she states firmly, each of us bringing our own strengths to our partnership. Partnership? The host seizes on the word, clearly thinking he's found an opening. That's an interesting choice of words. Some would say it's more of a business arrangement. The temperature in the room seems to drop several degrees. A few audience members shift uncomfortably in their seats, aware they're witnessing something unprecedented. Melania uncrosses and recrosses her ankles, her only visible reaction to the increasingly hostile line of questioning. You know, she begins, her voice carrying a new edge of steel beneath its usual grace. I find it fascinating how some people claim to champion women's independence, yet question every choice a strong woman makes. Her gaze holds the host's, unwavering. Perhaps we should discuss why that is. The host blinks first, clearly unprepared for this level of pushback. But instead of backing down, he decides to double down, a decision he'll soon regret. So, let's talk about your relationship with Donald Trump, the host says, dropping any pretense of subtlety. How would you describe your marriage? As someone who's constantly in the spotlight, constantly surrounded by controversy? Melania's response comes with quiet confidence. My husband is a man of action and conviction. When you stand for something, controversy follows. We knew this path wouldn't be easy, but we walk it together. Together, the host repeats, a hint of skepticism in his voice. But isn't it difficult being married to someone so polarizing? Someone who attracts so much criticism? You seem very focused on the negatives, Melania observes, her accent becoming slightly more pronounced as she continues. Let me tell you what the media doesn't show. A man who wakes up every day thinking about how to make this country better. A father who, despite his busy schedule, always made time for his children. A husband who values loyalty and family above all else. The host shifts in his chair, visibly frustrated by her composed responses. But Melania isn't finished. She leans forward slightly, her voice unwavering. You see, wealth can buy comfort, but it can't buy character. It can't buy the kind of dedication I've witnessed as Donald worked tirelessly for this country. It can't buy the love I've seen him show his family, his children, and yes, this nation. The studio grows so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. The audience, initially neutral or even skeptical, is now firmly on Melania's side. The host glances at his notes, desperately searching for another angle. But it's too late. The narrative he tried to spin has unraveled before his eyes. Melania Trump has just turned the tables, and the world is watching.